Hey everybody, Mark, Prepper Guy, and what I wanted to do today, as you can see, it's buy one of these and get a tool free, which I chose this, the new Hercules 20-volt variable speed jigsaw, so we can get jiggy. 3,000 strokes per minute. That should turn somebody on. On-off cutting blade blower. So it gets the shit out of your way. I don't know why you'd want it off, but maybe. Anyways, it is 20 volt. It is brushless. It comes with the 5-year warranty. And all I had to do is get this for free was buy a battery. Now I watched a pretty good video on batteries, and it was actually about generic batteries for your tools, because who wants to pay full price, right? And he made a good point that it's actually the battery that you're buying, not the tool. It's kind of like a printer and ink. You buy some ink, they'll give you a fucking free printer. Kind of, sort of, because the money is in the ink. And I just had to return some ink that I'd bought for my HP, because after the update, it would no longer recognize the off-brand ink. So that's kind of shitty, and I should have not allowed the update, because it fucked me. But it's not a fire safety thing, really, if it can use your ink or not. Batteries and the technology behind batteries is more guarded secret than probably military secrets, because that's where their money is in selling batteries. There we go. So it's $99 or 100 and something or another, and I got a. Can you see me? Right? Yeah. So I bought the battery, and then a single battery charger, which I have some over there. I don't know if you can see them. And I'll put this out in the barn where I do a lot of tool working for automotive. So I already have one charger out there, and now I'll have dose chargers out there for my impact drivers and everything auto related. And then out here is my wood shop. Anybody recognize that big bad boy there, the 12-inch sliding compound, which I did a review on recently. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Now, I'm not Mr. Tool Review guy. I just want to show people what I bought, and my thinking was, well, you always need batteries, so you might as well get a free fucking tool. That's how I look at it. And so I have pretty much every brushless tool that in the Hercules line now. And so I got batteries, and I need more batteries, because well, you fucking always need batteries. So the real joy, though, in my life is the tool, even though it's free. So let's take a look at this bad boy. That is one dull razor blade. Now I see a lot of people go, oh, it's packaged really good. Yeah, because they're in business to impress people. So they put it in a nice fucking box, because, you know, if you made a product and you're going to sell it to somebody in another state, you're not just going to wrap it in shit and go, here you go, buddy. You know, it's like, what are you, re-gifting me this tool? You just, you know, spent good money for it. So, of course, it's packaged nice, and it's awesome. And whatever this is, pain in the ass is what it is. All right, there's that, and oh, lucky me, a manual. So there's that and that. So then we got this. I guess it's the fucking thing. I don't know. Guess I will have to read the manual. Boom. All right. Get the the Vanna White thing. Nice. Very smooth trigger operation. The safety thing is nice. It's not all flumpy in there and crappy. Then it's got the adjustable thing, pretty much like my Bosch that I have that's corded. Similar color even. The over molding. I've learned that new word, over molding. We were talking about my new word, over molding, which is this cool rubbery shit on it. It's got a anti-marring plate on the bottom. I imagine professionals use that a lot. Me, not one of them. So then you can adjust your whatever the fuck. There you go. Your angle of the dangle. Most of the time, I don't use it that way. As you can tell, I'm kind of illiterate when it comes to that shit. There, locks in. Okay. All right. And then it's got a nice bearing in there for the blade to ride on. It's not all gringy feeling and everything. So then there we are on that shit. This thing must be something to do with that. You know what? Let's just fucking look, see. Yep. It has a picture. I like pictures because, like they say, it's worth 1,000 words. And I don't like reading. Never did. Speaking of reading, when I was in school, a youngin', I was learning, in reading class in 5th grade or whatever. Like all kids, I was pointing at the words to see Dick, run Dick. So I didn't get lost because, at that age, I don't know how to fucking read. That's why I'm in school. And my teacher was like, don't point at the words. Learn to just read. And I thought, well, that's probably pretty good advice, I guess. So years later, when I was about 32, 33, I took a free seminar class from Evelyn Wood's speed reading. And the instructor said, most kids, when they learn to read, will point at the word. And that's the brain naturally learning to speed read. Because as you speed read, you're no longer looking at the words, you're tracking. So you're making your eye track. And you go, and most teachers will tell you not to do that. And I was like, fuck, I live that. I get it. I remember. So thank you, educational system, for being fucktards and ruining my speed reading abilities for life because some teacher was a dumb fuck. Anyway, this thing, little doodad, goes into there. And I guess, yep, it clicks. So that's cool. And now it blows out here. So I guess you would have to hook this to a vacuum to suck all that shit out of there. And it must blow. I'm not saying the saw blows. It just must blow down in here because my box says that it has the ability to shut off the blower. It has a fuel gauge like my truck. Well, you know what? That's kind of funny because I read that somewhere and I'll have to now go read more shit. But I imagine there's a way to shut that off to where it's just not blowing on it. But anyway. So that is about as much of a review as I can do. Boy, that fucker is flat out dead. Let's just put it in there anyway. That's what 3,000, what does it call it? Strokes per minute. If anybody wants to count that, you can slow it down, but I'm not going to run it for a minute. Maybe a second or two. Sounds great. No clunking, no weird noises. All right, put my glasses back on so I look a little more studious. That is the Hercules, Harbor Freight Hercules 20 volt brushless saw. And all I had to do was buy a $100 battery, which is probably what they cost anyway. And I think my brother has the DeWalt. This little combination at 5 amp hour would probably be $150, and he wouldn't even get the free jigsaw. So Harbor Freight, kudos to you guys. And it looks great. Nice styling. I like the styling on these. I don't know who they're knocking off and, you know, and having make their tools, but honestly, I don't care. And the most important part is this 5-year warranty, which if I'm sitting there running along and I'm getting paid like $1,000 an hour and my tool breaks, I can go, I'm going to go to lunch. I'll be right back. I take this to Harbor Freight and go, it's broken. And they're like, you're right. It don't work. Here's a new one. And then I get a hamburger and I go back to work. And the homeowner doesn't even know that I had a tool break down on me because I got it changed like that during my lunch. Instead of having to pick up the phone and call Wong somewhere in some factory in Illinois that works for Makita or whoever the fuck. And he's like, well, you send it in and then we look at it. And then if we determine that it's a manufacturing error, we will send you out a new one or we will replace it with free shipping. But if it's your fault because you abused the fuck out of your tool, because that's why you buy tools, so you can make money, then we're going to charge you for the shipping to get it here, which you already paid, and we're not going to reimburse you for that. And then we're going to fix it at whatever it costs, and then we're going to send it back. So you're going to be out to maybe $250, $300 for this repair. It's like, I only paid $100 for the saw. And they're like, yeah, that's a good point. Why don't you just go buy a new one? Why are you calling me? I am busy. I'm on lunch break. So that's what I love about Harbor Freight. And I'm not bashing on anyone's ethnicity because I'm really bad at impersonations anyway. But I figure, you know, when you call tech support, it's usually somebody from India. And it's not that they're not smart as fuck, because they are. I just don't know what they're talking about. They talk way too fast. And if I recorded the conversation and slowed it down, I may go, Hajib, good point. But I don't know what you're saying. Anyway. So there you have it. Battery, 5 milliamp, a new charger for out in the barn, and a jigsaw, which will sit out here and live out its life happy in a quality air environment controlled room, just like its big brother. Oh, look. We got the miter saw that I just reviewed, and the circular saw, also by Hercules, also 20 volt, also 5-year warranty, also fucking awesome. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed whatever that was. And if you decide to switch over to Bauer or Hercules, it would probably be the best decision you made, other than marrying your charming spouse. And you get these Hercules tools. I think it'll only take you a few tools to realize, like I did, these are the coolest fucking things ever made for a tool. They might not perform 1,000% as good as a DeWalt that you paid, I don't know, $200, $300 more. Like this saw is $200 more at Lowe's by DeWalt, And it doesn't come with a stand either, and it doesn't come with a 60-tooth blade like that did, and it doesn't come with the top blade light that really shows you where you're going to cut instead of a stupid fucking laser. So you're going to find out that these are great. And if this thing will only cut 100 inches in an hour, and my $300 DeWalt might cut 104 inches per hour, do I really fucking care? Not at all. So make the switch and go out and buy them now, because, you know, Trump's tariff thing, it's up, it's down, maybe, no, not, yes. So it could be, these could be doubled in price. These things are a great value, and if you get them before Trump's sporadic bipolar tariff thing, that's going to cost you money. You know, because when they tell you tariffs are going to raise the price of goods, yeah, we're going to pay for that. China's not going to cut us a check. Hey, Mark, you got that saw? There was a $100 tariff on that. Here you go. No, I got to eat it. My discretionary income just went down when it comes to tools. So run out and buy one now before Trump changes his mind again. Talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye-bye. This is some of the finishing parts of a portico that is going to go over our back porch. And I thought, hey, now we got a new jigsaw. Let's use the cordless one. Cuts pretty good. Took me a minute to figure out how to put the blades in it because it had so many little safety things connected to it that I promptly took off. So I think it's turning out pretty good. I need to sand it and do a few things, but other than that, this weekend I'll be able to put up my portico, and I'll put a picture somewhere for you. Everything's on Facebook usually, but you know, whatever that is. My wife posts that. All right, awesome blossom. So I thought I would just film a little bit of using the new jigsaws. I'll add that to the review. See you guys. Share it, like it, comment. Be awesome. Bye.